Alrighty, hey guys, this is the Saigami project, and my name is Androtilia Vörös, aka Sunny, creator of the manga series Saigami, published and serialized in Saturday AM. And if I did everything right, we should be live. Yep, just give me a few minutes to make sure I arrange everything in order to see your comments and to see what the hell am I drawing. Okay, I can see the comments. Sunny girl, hello, hi there. Nice to see you here. Syra EMB, hola. Hola, I guess, or hola. I'm not sure. Alrighty. I think it should be good now. I'm gonna remove a few stuff here. And yep. Mr. Jerdude, I am here. Yeah, I wish I could read that in All Might's voice, but yeah, that's not really my voice. Zami9, hello Sunny, hi there. It's nice to see the familiar faces. Alrighty, so as you can see, I have a sketched manga page in front of me. It's from Saigami chapter 16. Yep. Sunny girl Kalani here. Oh, hi there! It's nice to see you. Yeah, I could have figured out that you're Sunny girl, but yeah. It's nice to see you. And everyone else, of course. Yeah, so I'm gonna be inking this page, then I'm gonna be working on another page from scratch, I guess. Or I can just start with that, but no. I wanted to do a bit of inking first, just to get in the mood for the live stream. Of course, I've been pretty much drawing all day, so excuse me if I'm a bit sluggish or tired. It happens. So yeah, and of course, like always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna do my best to read the comments and answer everything while drawing. Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna do the panel borders. Zoltan Linard, hello there, hi, nice to see you. Jake is growing yellow. Not yellow. Alright. I'm not sure what is yellow, except for my ruler. It's nice and yellow. And the background on my desk is kinda yellowish. No, it's more like an orange. With a bunch of old cosplay photos. Also, can you hear me well? And is the lighting okay? I'm not sure, maybe this lamp is a bit too much, but this is pretty much the only lighting I have at the moment, so I hope you can see things well and hear me well. Like, my broadcasting software just had an update, and I pretty much had to set up everything from scratch again. So I can only hope that I did everything right. Like, I'm always so nervous whenever a stream is starting because, yeah, for some reason I always mess up things. I'm really not a tech guru or anything, so. Mr. Jerdude, I finally bought microns. Zami, cool, I'm trying to get those things. Yep, they are really good. I really like microns. And truth to be told, in today's inking video, I'm gonna be using microns mostly and some other fineliners because, yeah, my hand is not in the best shape. So whenever I'm having some pain in my wrist or in my arm, I usually restrict myself to using only fineliners because the G pen is tricky as it is. So I prefer to use that when I know I can bring my A game to the table. And right now I really don't feel like that, so I'm just gonna use the easier materials for the inking. Of course, that will require me to do some extra line work to make sure I can basically imitate the very line weight of the G pens and the nib pens with the microns. But you know, I'm willing to put in the extra effort just to make sure I can provide the best quality for these pages. Mr. Jardu Zami, no, Sunny, everything is fine. Oh, perfect, thanks. Give me a big ol' hug. Zami9, hey Jerk, I never feel good seeing that. Yeah, like some of the nicknames you guys have are just... I'm not sure how I feel when I'm pronouncing some of them, so... It's okay, I will change my username whenever I come up with a good name. Yeah, no pressure here, it's just, you know, as long as you're comfortable with it. You know, normally I wouldn't say jerk that many times during a live stream, but... yeah. Also, I'm not sure about where you guys are from, but here in Europe, oh boy, the heat is unbearable. So, yeah. It's still pretty hot. It's 10 p.m. in Hungary. It's still very, very hot outside and inside, so not too happy with that. Like, I don't really like to work on my pages whenever it's too hot outside, but it's not like I have a choice. Let's say Zami, or do what Sunny does and name your channel after your manga. Yeah, that's always an option, and you know, if you name your channel after your manga, I think it's easier for people to relate. It's like matching products, marketing and stuff. Omnia? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I know Omnia is a coffee brand in Hungary. Link Slicer, oh, nice to see you. How was the convention? Oh, it was amazing. Like, you know, I did a video on that, so if you've seen that, you probably heard all this, but it was a very, very good convention. Super busy, super hot, very, very exhausting. But it was really good. I met a bunch of people who I can only meet on these conventions, like friends, meet some new friends, met some fans. Like, actually, it was really funny because I even received gifts from fans. Like, there was a girl who did a drawing of me, and there was another girl who gave me a drawing of Todoroki, and she was like super cute because she was so nervous when she approached me that, oh, hey, hi, can I give you this? Like, she was even stuttering. Like, she was so sweet. Like, you know, she made me feel like I'm some hotshot superstar or anything. So yeah, that was a new thing because I don't usually receive gifts like that. Sure, from friends, especially when, you know, the convention is around my birthday or there was any kind of occasion for that. But, you know, I never met these people, or at least I think I met the girl who did the drawing of me, because I suck remembering faces, but yeah, the other girl, I don't think I met her. At least I don't think we ever talked. If we did, I'm so sorry. Like, I just suck remembering people. I can remember names, but not faces. And the artist study was really good, but the best part was actually the workshop. Yeah, like the video was all about this, but apparently, yes, I became a manga teacher for that workshop, and this is the very first time for me. I do these videos. I've been doing this for quite a while now. Like, this YouTube channel has been around for a couple of years. I'm not doing too good of a job keeping it up, though. I'm sorry about that, but I did tutorials like this. But this was the very, very first time that I was actually teaching people face to face, like, showing them how I do things in real life. They can look at it, I can explain them things, they can ask about things, I can see how they are doing the things I'm showing them, I can have them make some corrections, and it was just mind-blowing. Like, it was a very, very pleasant experience. Like, I was super nervous. I wasn't even sure how good of a teacher will I be. And many of these things that I was showing them are some techniques that I think are fairly easy to master, but I'm never sure, because I've been drawing manga for ages now, and some stuff are pretty easy and simple for me because I've been doing it for years, but maybe it's not like that for everyone. So I wasn't even sure if what I'm teaching to them is, maybe it's too hard. Will they be able to master it? Will they understand? So yeah, I was super nervous, but it was all a very, very pleasant experience. Like, they were really good. Even the total beginners, I think they did a decent job. And of course, there were people who were already drawing their own mangas, or at least drawing in manga style, or maybe even were familiar with some of the techniques. They were really good as well. Like, there was this girl who had a sketchbook. Like, it was I have an idea, it was like a school sketchbook, I think, but it was full of manga pages. Like, sure, it was only storyboard, but it was a very refined storyboard, and it was full of her pages, or at least what will be pages in the future. And she was amazing. Like, she was really good, and it was just so inspiring to see her art, and to know that I was able to show some things to her, and maybe I could contribute a little bit to her future success. To me, that's always so important. Like, I draw manga because I love it, and I want to share my stories, and I want to leave something behind. But apart from drawing, it's really important for me to inspire people. So, to experience that face to face with all these people coming to the workshop, it was amazing. Let's say the comments. Zami9, saw the video, you did a good job teaching those future artists. Thank you. Inside story were the teacher, apparently. Yep, I was. And it was super fun, and I really hope that I will have the chance in the future to do workshops or lessons like that, because I really enjoyed it, and I hope the people who attended it could say the same thing. I met a few of them after the workshop was over. Some of them came to the booth in the artist alley. So I really hope that it turned out well for everyone. Sonic Girl, what's your thought on art school? Personally, I never attended art school. I tried to get into an art high school, but I never made it in. I think I might have mentioned it in one of my earlier videos, maybe not, I'm not sure. But yeah, I failed hard on their entrance exam. Like, I clearly remember one of the teacher's comment on my artwork. We had to draw things on the entrance exam, and we had to bring some stuff from home, like some of our existing. Basically, we had to bring our portfolio. And of course, I was drawing anime and manga related stuff even during those times, so I brought my artworks. And the reaction was, oh yeah, we are not starting a Pokemon class here. Which is kind of funny now, but yeah, that hurt a lot during that time. Like, they obviously looked down on me and my manga style artwork. And they told me that what they are looking for is not comics, it's not cartoons. They are looking for people who see the world differently. And I'm not really sure about the term they were using. My art to them was too down to earth, basically. So I failed hard, and after that I never tried to get into an art school again. So everything I learned was self-education. And although sometimes I feel like I'm behind some of my peers because I never attended art school, because I clearly lack some of the basics, or did lack some of the basics. In today's day and age, I don't think there's anything you can't learn from the internet or through self-education. So as long as you're willing to make up for the lack of proper art education and learn the things that are truly important, even though they aren't the funny or the entertaining part of doing art, as long as you're willing to do that, I don't think it's important to go to art school. Zamina, do I have to go to art school to be viewed as a professional? I don't think so. Like I said, I never went to art school. I know artists who never went to art school. And I know very good artists who went to art school and then wanted to quit art for good, because art school made them hate what art used to be for them. Like one of my best friends in elementary, she was incredible. Like I always looked up to her. And we took the entrance exam together to this art school. She either didn't make it in, but she tried next year. And on the second try, she got into the art school. And a couple of years later, she told me that, yeah, now she basically hates art. And there were many things that just didn't turn out the way she wanted to. Even her eyesight got really bad during those years in the art school, because they were forced to draw in that environment, like very dark rooms and all that stuff. So yeah, it wasn't really a happy story for her. Let's see, John. What paper do you use? It's a deleter type paper. It's A4 size. Just your usual deleter. I think it's type A. Yeah, I think it's type A manga paper. Mr. Gerdude, my new art teacher at school, loves the anime art style. That's great. And I think that maybe nowadays teachers or people are more willing to accept anime and manga as an art style. But back when I was trying to get into art school, boy, like everyone was looking down on anime and manga artworks. But now probably there's a new generation of teachers out there who might have grown up with animes around. Like, when I tried to get into an art high school, that was 15 years ago. So yeah, possibly the generation I'm from is now teachers. So I'm really hopeful that there are teachers who are into anime in art schools, and they are supportive of it and can teach people that it's an art, just like any other art style or type of art. Zami. That's funny because most of manga are made by people who view the world differently, and some have deep symbolisms. So what are they saying? Yeah, it's it's just basically that they didn't even know a thing about manga or anime. Like, it's just prejudice at its finest, because for them it's not art. It's just some silly thing trying to be art, and they don't know anything about it. Like, if you're a fan of anime and manga, you know that it is truly art. And of course there are the trashy things, like sometimes, yeah, anime is trash and so is some manga titles, but certain movies and novels, like, but there are some that are really, really special and can't truly be considered art. Let's say some of you are here planning on applying, really nervous. Good luck. I really hope that you will have an easier time than I had. I think it always depends on who you're facing in those exams. Vipul Gupta, for manga artist, art is just a medium to convey the story. If it's good, it's appealing, but main thing is the storyline and the way they are conveyed too. Self-taught is the best, isn't it, Sunny? Because we get to learn more, right? Yeah, that's actually a point of view at, like, I guess nowadays it's pretty easy to be self-taught. When I started, it wasn't, because we didn't even have proper internet during those times. So it wasn't like I just went up on YouTube and watched tutorials, because it wasn't a thing. But nowadays, yes, being self-taught, it is easier, way easier. You can learn and master a bunch of things, many of them for free, but if you're willing to pay a little bit, you can get access to various sites and downloadable content, art classes, and all that stuff online. So yeah, if you're willing to go the distance to get proper education as a self-taught person, and yeah, nothing really is in your way. Let's see, try to epic. My high school teacher wanted to do a manga project that she made no research at all. 2 other students and me were the only ones to know a thing or two. Oh, yeah. Like, only wanting to do manga because it is cool or popular and not really knowing a thing about it. Yeah. But that's just the case with the average person, I guess. Like, they don't know anything about it. And they just jump ahead. Like, I'm usually, people approach me that, oh, hey, you can draw, so how about you design me a tattoo and shit like that. And I'm always so pissed off. Like, it's one thing that, sure, I can draw portraits and I can draw many things, but don't mix things up. I'm a comic artist in the first place, so I know that, and I wouldn't do animation or anything because that's just I don't have the proper skills. I would need to do research in many things to do a proper job. So yeah, I guess many are just easy to confuse these things. Sorry, I'm back. Nice to see you back. Yeah, one thing I don't like working in Fineliners is that I usually always have to switch between the pens. Like I prefer to do the faces with the thinnest pen, the 005. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, this is it. I usually do the proper underline arts with the 01. Where is the camera? I can't see it. Oh, shoot. So yeah, the 01. Sometimes I do it with the 03 or 05, and then I will go over the line arts once again. But you know, whenever you're using a G pen or a Mark pen even, you can just put in the pressure and do the line variety, and you don't necessarily have to mix the pens. Of course, you have to tip the nib. So, but yeah, usually I'm losing the pens after putting them down. So, yeah, I don't think you can see it, but my desk is just super messy, and it's kind of hard to find the pens in this messy environment. And that's the way I like it. Like I just can't work in a neatly arranged environment. People Gupta, exactly like you don't go to a civil engineer to ask about a computer just because they are an engineer. Exactly like you don't go to a dentist when you have stomach pain or anything just because it's a doctor. So yeah, it's the same with any profession, I guess. It's just people don't like to consider art or being an artist as a profession. Sammy just sketching some different headshots of my main character. Cool, have fun with it. People Gupta, so how long does it take to edit a page out, like over average time, and edit it out? It depends highly on the content of the page. Usually sketching and inking a page takes between 3 and 6 hours. That's the usual. And after that, editing, I scan in the page, I make sure the page is clean, like I adjust contrast and levels, and make sure that all the blue lines, I'm not sure if you can see, but yeah, this page has the blue printing guides, and I'm also doing the first layers of the sketches in blue. So whenever I scan the pages, I can make those blue lines disappear, so I have less erasing to do. But yeah, I have to make sure while editing the pages that indeed all the blue lines are gone and they didn't leave a grayish trace behind. So yeah, I do that. That's a pretty quick thing. And after that, I add the screen tones, and if needed, I add some more effects digitally. Like I like to do most of my effects traditionally. Like for example, here's this page. As you can see, I have the background or the effects here done traditionally. So basically on this page, I'm mostly gonna do just adding the screen tones and maybe doing a little bit of effects. Like I want to add an effect here in the background. Yeah, possibly here, but I think I'm just gonna enhance the white in this panel. But yeah, I prefer to do most of this traditionally, so there's really not much of editing left. Whenever I'm editing the pages, of course, sometimes screen tonings can take up a lot of time, depending on the content. For example, Reggie's hair is a darker grayish tone, so doing his hair with the screen tones is a nightmare. So obviously a page where it's only like Ayumi or Sean is way faster than any page with Reggie or Daisuke, who have screen toned hairs. But yeah, I would say that usually I spend an hour, 2 at most, editing and screen toning pages, including lettering as well. And once I lettered the page, I'm sending them to proofreading to my editor, and after that we can consider the page is done, and they are sent in to Saturday AM. Although these pages will be in issue 92 of Saturday AM, I think it will come out 2 weeks from now. I think. I don't know, like, our current issue is issue 90, also having a Saigami chapter, or not chapter, an installment, and our next issue about to launch, I think it's this weekend. Yeah, it's issue 91, and yeah, you will be able to read these pages in 92. Let's see. Sunshock, hello there. King Slasher, hello everyone, hi. Zemi, did you base any of your characters off of people in your life? That's how I make some of my characters. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you know, Saigami as we know it today is a remastered edition, I could say, because I started the first version of Saigami in 2005. That was a long time ago. And after that, yeah, well, I completed 16 chapters of that version of Saigami, and after that, I basically scratched the whole thing and restarted anew, changing many things, even many things with the characters. And you know that's the version that got published and serialized in Saturday AM. But yeah, some of the characters were based on real life persons. Actually, Reiji is one of them. Sa is Daisuke, and yeah, even Sean is kind of a mixture of two persons, two friends. So yeah, the basic inspiration for the characters have characters. I mean, persons mixed in. Yeah, I'm kind of losing my train of thoughts here, but yeah. So I'm not saying that they are full on designed or created after the real life persons, but some of their personality traits, maybe some design elements, are based on real life people. Xavier Moss, awesome, this is what I need to see. How long do micron pens last? They don't last for too long, I guess. Of course, it depends on how much you're using them, but they can run out pretty quickly. Like, I have some other type of Fineliners, for example, these touch liner. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, these are very similar to the microns. They last way longer than the microns. And maybe even some other types, like there's this brand, I really like it, the Edding brand. They last for eternity. Like, some of these I have for like 5 years now, and they still have ink in them. I can't say the same about the microns, so they can run out pretty quickly. Of course, it is also depending on where do you get them. Like, you know, you can get some cheap microns online, and obviously they aren't really the real microns. Of course, they look the same, but yeah, don't let the super cheap price fool you, because even though it looks the same, it's probably just a dupe. So be careful with that, because of course I ordered some of those because, you know, I was just curious that is it the real thing or not, and some of them arrived empty. And they ran dry after a few lines and stuff like that, so always be sure to get the real microns. And you know, they will last you for a while, but I have the experience that they run out quicker than my other Fineliners. Vipul Gupta, is it harder to draw comics digitally than traditionally? For me, yes. Even though by now I feel like that I got more used to digital artwork, and you know, I can do now line art, and there are many artworks I do fully digitally, but I just can't get used to doing the comic pages digitally. Like, it's just not the same. I've been toying with the idea of doing it digitally completely, because, you know, it would save me a lot of money, because, you know, I won't have to pay for the papers, for the equipment, many things I consider to be easier, or at least faster, digitally. But yeah, I just couldn't get used to it. But I guess it's up to the person. Like, I know many artists who are doing everything digitally, and they swear on digital because it's just so much better for them. So there are many who consider that to be the future, and yeah, I kind of got their point. I can agree with them, and you know, once you get the hang of it and you get used to it, I think it doesn't really matter if you're working traditionally or digitally, because it can be just about the same. In the end, it's about the skills, but digital, I think, is hard to get used to, especially if you're working with a drawing tablet that's you know, not a drawing screen, like a drawing monitor. So yeah, because I personally had a lot of struggle with a drawing tablet like that, so that's why I switched to a drawing monitor, because I just couldn't do the line arts digitally like that. So maybe if I were to practice it, I could do pages digitally, but right now I feel like I would like to stick to traditional. Let's see. Russian Shabby, yo. Yeah, please keep it PG. To answer your question, no, and I don't intend to. And yes, please keep the comments PG, because many of my viewers could be underage, and yeah, please be mindful of everyone watching this live stream. It's just so weird to draw with the Fineliners after all. Like, today during the day I've been doing the pages with the GPAM, but yeah, I want to switch to these Fineliners to make sure I don't mess up anything that much. But whenever I switch to the Fineliners, I feel like my lines are a bit scratchy. Of course, this is just the first layer of the line art, so I can still refine all these lines. Let's see. Russian Shabby, ok, thanks. Vipul Gupta, have you ever felt the need to be faster, and do you think you're getting faster with time? I feel like that all the time. Like, yeah, I have so much to draw. Like, you know, the deadlines at Saturday I'm taking commissions, drawing things for Patreon, and all the stuff, and there's always something to draw. Usually always there are many things to draw, and I just feel like I just can't get faster. I think I'm faster with sketching. Like sketching up a page takes now way less time than it used to, because there are many things I can draw now without reference. Like back in the day, whenever I was drawing a position of a hand or a gesture, I usually had to look up references, or shoot a photo of myself or my hands, or ask someone to be the model for those artworks. Nowadays I can draw hands without a reference like 90% of the times. So sketching up a page is way faster, because many of the anatomy and poses and angles are just in my muscle memory by now, or I can do them without looking up the references for them. So that surely made things faster. But inking wise, I don't feel like I've gotten any faster, especially because I'm now more mindful of my inking than I used to be. Like, for example, if you take a look at Saigami Volume 1, the early chapters, I feel like my inking style and my line arts are very inconsistent. Many were pretty rushed. I noticed that some of my line arts are unfinished, like at the bottom of the panels. And after Volume 1 was published, I was looking through it to make sure that I can do things better with Volume 2. And that inconsistency was something I wanted to avoid with Volume 2. So starting from Volume 2, I'm putting way more effort into my line arts. And I think thanks to that, my line arts got better, but at the same time, my inking got slower. So I'm basically at the same situation that, doing the pages basically take up the same time they used to. It's just sketching got faster, but inking got slower. And back in the day, it used to be slow sketching and fast inking. But in the end, since I think it resulted in better quality with the pages, it's a win-win. I just wish that I could become faster, like way faster. Like some of our creators in Saturday AM are like insanely fast. Like for example, Jay Odin of Hammer. That guy's a machine. Like he's insane. And he and I had a talk, and he was telling me the story that basically he got so fast because he could see that the pages he's reading from manga series like his favorite One Piece are done weekly, so he wanted to reach the same level of doing chapters weekly. So he did, and he only realized later on that these manga artists have assistants. So, so he basically reached an insane level of drawing speed. So I really wish to reach that kind of level, and that surely is one of my goals, to be faster whenever it comes to creating pages. Let's see, where are we at the comments? Sabemos, what's your biggest inspiration? I think there are many inspirations for me. One of the biggest is that I want to tell my stories. I want to create something that's kind of a legacy. The other is my readers. Like it's super important for me that I could be inspiration for my readers. My stories can touch them. It can make something for them. I'm not saying it can make a difference, but it can create something they can relate to. It can give them a message. It can inspire them. That is super important for me. So that's my biggest inspiration. Sunny Girl, how do you keep a consistent schedule? It's not easy. Like, I don't. Like, I'm not that of a consistent person. It's like even if I set up a schedule for myself, I usually fail at following it. Like I can't I just can't. Like, I'm a procrastinator, which is a bad thing on its own. But usually I mix things up when it comes to my schedule, so it's more often that I don't stick to my schedule and things are following differently than how I was planning them to happen, so it is not easy. Of course, it's a different thing when I'm given a deadline by someone else, like by Saturday AM or a commissioner, because then it's a job, I have to do it. But even then, it's very hard to keep things consistent, especially when real life is happening. Like the last few months been crazy for me. Like I had to pick up full-time job, part-time job. There were many complicated things happening in my private life, so there were many times I just failed at keeping up with my schedule. So I'm still trying to pick up the ball and return to a satisfying consistency with my artworks and comics and everything. So yeah, more often than not, I just can't. But there's a hope that I can keep up with consistent schedule. Yeah, I usually can't pronounce that word. And anyway, let's see, Mr. Jardude, how are the deadlines? Are they as deadly as those in Shonen Jump? Not for us, because Saturday AM isn't weekly, so we have that easier. But then again, we don't have assistants, so we have that harder. Saturday AM is bi-weekly magazine, so the idea will be for a creator to appear in every 2 weeks. But luckily, since we do have many creators and many series now, it is not necessarily required from a creator to appear in every issue, which gives us time to be able to work on our content, to make sure we don't burn out. So I can say that Saturday AM got a lot easier with new creators joining. Like when we were just starting out and there were only a handful of us, that was way harder. Like back in the first years, year 1 and 2, we just had to be in every issue, and that was crazy. Like that was one of the hardest period for me. Like I was working full-time, I was creating installments of Saigami for every issue of Saturday AM, and yeah, meantime I failed to do private life and sleep and everything, so it required a lot of sacrifice just to make sure I can keep up with the deadlines. That got easier, but it's still sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easier. It depends. I guess it's easier if you're fast or if you can schedule things the right way. Since I'm not any of those, it can be very hard sometimes. Let's see. King Slasher. Hey Saigami, I just want to ask if you could create a new story manga, how would you do your planning? Also, with economy, how do you plan it? Please make examples. Yeah, that's a very hard topic. Like, it's a super wide topic. But whenever I'm thinking about a new idea, or whenever I was thinking of new ideas, it depends. Like, for example, with my one-shot Dreamwalker, it was the main character first who appeared in my mind. I did a sketch of him, and later on I came up with the gist of the story. Like, I wanted to be dream related. Made my research on various topics related to that, various cultures, and yeah, piece by piece, like every idea was a brick in the foundation. I came up with the world, I came up with the rest of the characters, I came up with the story, how it can best convey the message I want to tell with the story, how to make it exciting, how to make it relatable. So it is a lot of work. It always depends on what kind of story you're working on. Like, I have a story that's you can say it's in progress, because sure as hell eventually it will happen. Like, I really want to make it happen, and it's a sports manga, and starting up a story for a sports manga is completely different than starting, let's say, a fantasy or a sci-fi story. For the sports manga, I had to do tons of research, like researching the sports, making sure that I know everything about the rules, everything about the scene for that sport worldwide, because I wanted to be a realistic sports manga. Of course, I can do sort of a magic ball like Kuroko's basketball, but even Kuroko's is following the rules of basketball and stuff like that. But for example, that story came with a lot of research, especially since it's I don't want to give away too much, but the story would take place in a different country than what's the country of the main character, so I had to do research in that scene as well. So yeah, coming up with that came with a lot of research first. And after I had my research, I slowly started to build up the characters, the background of the characters, and then proceeding the various elements of the story. Of course, it's still in the progress, so there's still a lot to build around that, but for that, I can say that I had an easier time because I could place the story between realistic boundaries. But for a sci-fi or a fantasy story, it's not much harder because there are no boundaries, so you can basically do anything, but at the same time you have to make sure that it makes sense. But yeah, even then, research can be your friend, be it researching existing novels or movies, other fictions, anything, maybe even real life things like historic events, economies of other countries. Like if you can pick something that's relatable to what you want to create, like a feeling, like let's say if you want to create a war scene in your story, then you can take inspiration from a historical event, like how it was in history, or even in the current days and age, we have many countries that are still at war. So you can always look up and research those things, and then mix in your own elements of fantasy or sci-fi or you name it. So I always think that doing the research and looking for inspiration in already existing things can be very, very helpful whenever it comes to creating new stories. Justin Gilbert, Saigami is awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you, and that's a nice blue comment. I'm not really sure what that is, but it looks cool. Yeah, I'm still new when it comes to live streams. Let's see. Dr. Driving Crew, where are you from? I'm from Hungary. It's a small country in Eastern Europe. Grimheim, hello, nice to see you here. Ooh, that's a complicated name. Kostas Lakatamitis. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. What keeps you motivated to keep going? I really want to do it. Creating stories was always my thing. So being able to do it is my dream. So I really want to make it happen. Of course, there are times when I'm having an artist block, or when I just feel like it's just, it just would be easier and nicer to just chill, to hang out with my friends. But even then, I have to do it. So for that, I need a lot of discipline. And I think that's something everyone who wants to go professional will need. Like, I've seen an online comic, I think it was a comic strip or something, that said, create more on discipline and not on motivation, because motivation is a fragile thing. But discipline is discipline. So if you make up your mind, you have to do it, even if you don't feel like doing it. That's how you can do it consistently. Motivation won't always be there. Like, if you're willing to go pro, many times you will have to create, even if you don't feel like doing it. And yeah, that happened with me many times. So only discipline can help you on those times. Or of course you can search for motivation. Like, many times when I feel kind of blue, or I just can't feel the right motivation, it always helps to look up comments or messages from my readers, or people who enjoy my artwork, or if I'm an inspiration for them. That surely can help. So motivation is something you can find if you're willing to, but at the same time, even if you can't always rely on those messages or anything, you will have to make sure that you have the right discipline to keep going. Let's see. King Slasher, hello Grimheim. Buka Manga, good evening, Sunny. Hi. Good evening to you too. Sunny Girl, would you ever take on assistances? Oh shit, that would be cool. Like, of course, at the moment, financially, I can't afford working with assistants. But if in the future I would be able to do that, or maybe do something like internship, that would be amazing, because I surely could use the hub. And based on my experience with the workshop, I really enjoy teaching people. And as I was teaching those young artists to draw, and I've seen many of them were amazing, I was like, shoot, it would be so great to work with assistants, yeah. so yeah, it surely would be nice to do that. I'm not saying I would want to do it like the Japanese, like with groups of 5 or 6 people. Of course, that would be really nice, but even just the very basic things, like doing some of the effects, or doing the filling in the blacks, or doing the erasing or scanning, or just editing the pages, that would be very nice. I actually, my best friend often helps me, or at least she used to help. She's very busy nowadays, but with the first volume she used to help a lot with screen toning, and that was a huge help. So it would be really nice to be able to work with assistants, but that's for the future. Like, yeah, drawing comics is kind of solitary, so even just that I don't necessarily have to do it alone would be a nice addition. Like, I really enjoyed teaching people, to see how they can do things after I taught them how to do. And yeah, even working together with my best friend, that was super fun. So it surely will be nice to do it in the future. Let's see. kinda lost. Sorry, the camera is shaky. I can't find the mouse. Ian Falcon, how do you draw speech bubbles so well? I just draw them. I don't think there's anything special about them. It's just I make sure that I can draw them with a steady hand if it's needed. Sometimes I want to make sure that my speech bubbles are kind of shaky. Like for example, in this page, you can see I made Ayumi's speech bubble kind of shaky on purpose to convey the feeling that her voice is shaking. And you know, many techniques can be used like that with speech bubbles, but when it's just normal speech bubbles, or when I want to make sure that it's a very straightforward speech bubble, like that's something that can convey that it has confidence, it's said with a kind of straight face, or you know, then I'm making sure that I can draw it with as steadily as I can. Let's see. Mr. Gertrude, guys, what kind of arcs do you like? I like Prison Break arcs. Yeah, this can be fun. I personally really enjoy training arcs. Usually more than the tournament arcs. Of course, those are really good as well, if they are executed the right way. But yeah, I'm a sucker for training arcs. And yeah, I guess it depends. Like, I like arcs that are more focused on character development, even character drama. Like, I'm also very hooked on flashbacks, depending, of course, on how they are executed. And yeah, I also do like you know, when sometimes time travel is included, so those can be super exciting. Yeah, I can't talk. But yeah, I guess it depends on the type of story, but yeah, usually training arcs are my jam, so. But you know, I can get hooked on any kind of arc if it's executed well, and I'm interested in the story and the characters. Madness, hi Sunny, what's up? Oh, nice to see you here. Awesome. Guys, if you don't know, Madness is the amazing person behind most of the music in this channel. Like, he created the tracks for the Saigami videos, like the trailer music, and basically all of the character songs. Yeah, like all of the Saigami characters have character songs. And Madness is a gentleman behind all this magic, so yeah, thank you very much, and it's really nice to see you here. And yeah, I was supposed to send you a message like years ago, so let's pick that up later. But yeah, it's really nice to see you here. Where was I at the comment? Mr. Gertrude, by the way, what kind of size on the micron do you use to draw the speech bubbles? I used the 0.5. And you know, if needed, I just go over the lines once again. Like here in this case, I'm not sure if you can see, but this speech bubble is I kind of wanted to combine the shakiness with the bolder line to make sure I can convey that. I'm not saying she's shouting, but yeah, she's speaking louder, but still with a shaky voice. I'm not sure if that's something I just tried to draw, or you can feel it as well. But you know, manipulating my speech bubbles like that is something I like to do. Let's see. Sunny girl, I work for you for free. we have some for an internship. Yeah, that would be awesome. like we can discuss that later. I'm sure we could figure something out. Mr. Gertrude, prepare your passport and ticket. We are applying for an internship. You're welcome to do so. Of course, you don't have to travel to Hungary all the way because this month I will be going back to Canada. So if you happen to be in the States, I will be that much closer. But yeah, I'm really hopeful that, internship and things like that could be a thing benefiting for both parties. So that would be really cool. Zami9, what did you do whenever Tika told you to kill off a cool character you just made? Yeah, so if you don't know, Tika is my best friend, who, like I mentioned, used to do many assisting with the artworks and and screen toning, and she just has a passion to tell me to kill off my characters. So whenever she she told me that, I usually give her a nasty look, but still contemplated the thought that maybe sometimes I hated the idea with a passion. Sometimes we were making jokes. Most of the times we were making jokes on that. But yeah, it's a super funny inside joke, and I made this part of Volume 1 of Saigami because it's just, I was basically finishing up Volume 1, while Tika was always telling me that kill them all, just kill everyone. So that was super funny. And, it will be so funny to see her smug face when I actually kill a character because she will be like, told you so. So that will be funny. But yeah, most of the times I try to take it easy and handle it as a joke. Sometimes I was protecting my babies, and sometimes I could see the opportunity in killing of characters. Like, it was kind of scary how sometimes she could be very reasonable why killing off certain character would work out in the best favor of the story. And I was like, shit, girl, like, don't do me. Think like that, because, I have my own way of writing things. But she could be very convincing sometimes. Let's see. Grimheim. I usually don't have a specific type of arc I like. When it comes to shonen, I like the tournament arc. Yeah, they can be very good. Admittedly. Let's see. Well, I can't pronounce that. Like Erhans? I just can't pronounce it. So I'm trying to improve by practicing every day. It's first doing figure drawing, studying anatomy, then drawing some characters with reference. So what do I do when I feel I'm not improving anymore? That's a really good question. Especially since you're doing practice on a wide variety. Because yeah, all of the things you're practicing are very important and very useful. And you have to keep in mind that improvement is something that moves on a different scale for everyone. Like in case of some people, you will see the improvement to be super fast. Like some people can improve in a very short period of time on a huge scale, and for some it takes years to get from one level to another. But at the same time, keep in mind that just because you don't see or don't feel the improvement, it doesn't mean it's not there. And when you reached a certain level already, it's harder to see such a significant improvement, because obviously, even if you just take a look at the how the draw this again memes, like obviously whenever you put your artwork you made 10 years ago and put your current artwork next to it, you will see a huge difference, because you your past level used to be so low, and the gap between the two is so wide that the improvement will seem significant. And if you just put a shorter period of time next to each other, the improvement won't seem to be as much. So even if you don't feel like improving, it's probably just because you already mastered some things, and improving them further on won't seem to be such a huge step, but it will be still there. So I would recommend you to keep going at it, and maybe just need to make a change for now, like try to practice some different things. Although I think that doing figure drawings and other things are very important, and they can be a good practice to start your work session, to get the hang of it. But you can just learn a few new things that you didn't practice so far, or you can just do some practices. Like if you just did practice drawings like that, maybe you can try to do some comic pages to practice how you could actually use the things you did draw and you did learn and you practiced all along in actual combat, I guess. So I think that can also give you confidence with your learning session and your practice, to see that you can now use all the things you learned and mastered in actual execution of things. So don't feel discouraged just because you can't seem to feel the improvement, because if you're keeping at it, I'm sure you're improving. Mr. Gertrude, Nico Robin's flashback was executed very well in the Enies Lobby arc. Yeah, like, Enies Lobby is actually my favorite arc in One Piece. Like, I think that was super well done. Like, that flashback was really amazing. And of course, basically, every flashback in One Piece, like the flashback for the main characters, they are just so well done. The character drama and the improvement, oh my god. Yeah, One Piece is incredible. And it's kind of sad because I don't enjoy One Piece anymore like I used to. But it is surely a very, very good example for how to do great arcs, great flashback and character improvements. And I'm gonna make some correction because I really don't like the face here. Let's see. Zami 9. Tournament arcs are cool when done right, but I usually prefer the pre-final battle arc. When the characters are at their lowest. Oh yeah. yeah, I got your point, and yeah, it's always nice to see those parts, and I think that will contribute to the hype and the momentum of the final arc. To see the characters low, or maybe even give up. Of course, shonen characters don't ever give up, but this is a hard face to draw. Let's see. Echo, what kind of scenes are the most fun for you to draw? It depends. Like, I guess the scenes I enjoy the most are the scenes that are important to me, important story-wise. Like, I can name scenes that weren't really significant maybe for the reader, but for me it was important. And I really enjoy drawing those scenes. Like, for example, in volume 2 of Saigami, this is the Hungarian volume, but let me show you one of my favorite scenes to draw. Like, this scene here, like this panel in particular, like this was one of my favorite in volume 2. And I can't really explain why, because it may be nothing that important in the scale of the volume, but this panel was one of my favorite to draw. And of course, I really enjoyed drawing silly scenes. Like, if you read my works, you know that I like to include gags and a lot of comic relief and funny faces. So I usually really enjoy those scenes, and you know, it's like patting my own back that, my god, I'm just having so much fun, and I can only hope that my readers are having fun with these scenes as well. But yeah, I really enjoy those scenes, and I always enjoy drawing the scenes that I've been waiting for a long time to draw. Like even when I'm coming up with a story, there are times when I know scenes that are just really something for me, and I really want to reach those scenes. And when I'm there and I can actually draw it, that's like super exciting and so much fun. Sometimes very stressful because there are scenes that I'm waiting so much to draw, and when I'm actually there, I'm like, boy, can I really draw it the way I imagined it to be? Like, there's also a lot of pressure with those scenes. But yeah, I think it always depends on the story and what that scene means to me. Like, there are scenes I enjoyed drawing because, you know, there was some hidden message or something I knew that the readers probably won't even notice or realize, but I knew it was there, and it made me feel more excited about that part or that scene. So I guess it is mostly up to a personal connection to the scene. Let's see. Where are we? Grimheim, One Piece has one of the most full-bodied depiction of women in anime, but good lord, Oda makes up for it with his writing. Just awesome. I can only agree. Like, women design in One Piece are... yeah, it's just ridiculous. The body types and pretty much they kind of do have a same face syndrome, but boy, the writing, like, that's just insane. And no wonder One Piece is the most popular across the globe, and surely in Japan, and I'm not sure across the globe, because, you know, there are differences how different popular titles are received in the West and in various countries, but still, One Piece is huge. Quiz Studios comics. I hate not seeing mistakes after I'm done inking. You know, the easiest way to spot your mistakes is just to turn around your page and take a look at it with the light reflecting through the page, and then you will be able to see the mistakes you made. Can be quite painful at sometimes. Or you can use, you know, a tracing board, something that, you know, provides light from below. Of course, if you can do this sort of thing before you start inking and correct your sketch lines, that will make things so much more easier. But, you know, if you don't see the mistakes, maybe that's just because you did a great job inking. And also, one more thing you can do is just to leave the page. Draw something else, work on a different page, and come back to that page later. Because, you know, you've been spending hours to ink a page and your eyes get used to it. Maybe that's why you don't see the mistakes. Or maybe I just were good. Who knows? Let's see. Jesse Gilbert. Ever thinking of getting into animations too? And just never ever having free time? Truth to be told, animation never really hit the right notes with me. Like, I might be one of the few creators who never wanted to become animator, because yeah, I don't know, it never really resonated with me that much, but I sure did give some thought whenever, you know, I see some animation from the creators I follow or I enjoy their work. And you know, sometimes I was like, boy, it would be cool to do a short animation just to see my characters in motion, or you know, just do a sketchy fake anime opening or something, just for fun. So whenever it comes to that fun factor, yeah, I was thinking that maybe, but then again, it's a lot of work and a lot of time, and since I'm a complete novice when it comes to animation, it would take a lot of time to master it properly, or at least decently, in order to execute that. So I always was like, sure, it would be fun, but instead of focusing that fun for my personal enjoyment, I rather focus on mastering my skills when it comes to drawing the manga pages. And while I could do an animation, I could finish up many pages, and I can provide my readers with more content. And I think that's more important, because I know that many are waiting for the next volume of Saigami. Some people even threatened me in the convention that I better go and work on it. So I don't think at the moment I can let myself just focus on fun and trying out new things that I'm not sure I would enjoy, but you know. Of course, it would be very nice to see animation with my characters one day, but it doesn't necessarily have to be done by me, so I'm just waiting for that moment, I guess. Book and manga, don't kill any characters. Yeah. Let's just say that I won't kill characters just for the sake of killing them. I think there are many stories that only kill for the sake of the shock factor, and you know, I guess it could be a standard, because nowadays there are so many popular titles that are kind of edgy. So you know, just think about Attack on Titan, Game of Thrones. We see a lot of characters being killed in these shows, and these two are two of the most important, I think, in today's geek culture. So I can understand why many think that it is important to kill characters, even if it doesn't serve the story. But I surely won't fall in the mistake of killing off characters just for the sake that I can say that, oh yeah, characters are dying in Saigami. I can't promise I won't kill characters, because I think sometimes it is necessary to kill characters, because if there are no sacrifices, there are no stakes. And depending on what kind of story we're talking about, sometimes you have to go the distance and took something from the readers, be it their favorite characters or something else, to make sure that it feels that the story has a stake. Like there were many cases in stories I really like that I felt like that a character should have died, and because he or she didn't, it felt like everything I was reading, everything that I was emotionally invested in, happened in vain, because I felt like I was fooled. So whenever it comes to writing Saigami or any of my stories, I want to make sure that my readers won't feel like that. So surely there won't be any deaths in vain, and there won't be any survivings in vain. If that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah, I don't want to bring up any examples because I don't want to spoil anything, but for example, in Fairy Tail, like, if you know me, you know that Fairy Tail is like my biggest favorite of manga at the moment. plus IQ, but yeah. Anyway, um, but there were many times in Fairy Tail where I was like, no, I wanted the character to die. I mean, I didn't want the character to die because I was emotionally invested in the characters, and of course, it's nice to see them survive. But at the same time, I felt like that was a wrong choice, writing-wise, to make us believe that the character will die, that the character even died, and then it didn't happen. So, so yeah, I think sometimes writers have to have the balls to kill off characters, even if they are girls. I mean, you know, you know what I mean. Um, of course, I will be making sure that I'm not influenced by Tika. so, so yeah, if push comes to shove and I will have to kill a character, it will be for the sake of the story. If that makes sense. Of course, if I'm killing off someone's favorite character, I surely can't explain that. Oh, it was for the sake of the story. The story is so much better right now, right? 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 So yeah. um, Zami, whenever I make a character, it's like having a child. It's hard to kill them even if I have to. I can only agree. Like, yeah, these characters are really like my babies, and it is very hard to just even think about it. Yeah, I could be killing them, or make things happen to them. But sometimes you have to put through your characters through hardship, and yeah, sometimes it's just hard. And yeah, especially when Tika was mentioning some stuff, and I was like, yeah, I got your point. I got why that will be very interesting and maybe even shocking. Yeah, probably mostly shocking. But she had some good points that killing off certain characters in a certain way could benefit the story. And I was like, yeah, but no. Like, nope. I don't feel like doing that because A, I'm the writer of the story, B, I'm not gonna kill my babies. So yeah. Grimheim, the author of Attack on Titan, once said that to him the characters are simply drawn lines and ink on paper, so he hardly feels anything when he kills them off. Explains a lot. Yeah. Well, I wish he would connect to his characters a bit more because, boy, like, some of the deaths are just, my god, beyond cruel. But I think that's one of the things that made Attack on Titan special because that was something you just didn't see in other anime or manga too often. But yeah, I think it's best if the author or the creator has feelings. I mean, when you care about your characters, because yeah, or at least that's just my point, or at least that is my point. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. I'm sure for many the characters are just tools. I'm not saying that you need to go to the distance, and it is a very thin ice between caring for your characters and Mary suing your characters or Gary suing your characters, because you have to make sure that care for your characters and all the stuff, but always be reasonable. And the same goes for making choices with the writing, be it killing your characters or anything else. Say, nice Kyuchiya. Hello, nice to see you again. Um, Erhans. Sorry, I still can't pronounce your name. Damn, that was a really good answer, lol. Thank you so much, seriously. Love your work. Thank you, and I'm really hoping I could help you and keep it up. Like, that's a really good practice method you wrote, so keep it up. Silent Duelist. Yeah. King Slasher. But it's getting late for me. I see you on the next video, Saigami. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams to you all. Thank you for being here, and see you again next time. And yeah, my name is not Saigami. Saigami is the comic I'm drawing. But anyway, I'm Sunny. See you next time, King Slasher. Good night. Echo. What do you hate to see or get annoyed by in stories? Is it unnecessary deaths, like you talked about, or other events? I guess it depends. Sure, unnecessary deaths can be annoying, but you know, if I'm not really invested in the characters, then I just won't feel like feeling anything about that, so not necessarily that. You know, suddenly I can only think about Black Clover. I'm sorry, I'm always giving the hate talk about Black Clover, but yeah, Black Clover is a manga that can really piss me off. And, you know, I just don't like weak writing when I can feel that things are forced, that things are ass-pulls in a story. Especially when it's coming from a creator that I know can do better. Like, you know, if it's a story I'm just reading for the sake of reading it, or just a new story I'm looking into, I'm not invested in that story yet, or in the creator or anything. But if it's a story I'm following and I feel like the story has potential and it lets me down by making stupid choices writing-wise, you know, that can really annoy me. And yeah, I feel like Black Clover is like that. Like, it's just so many bullshit. Like, of course, there's a lot of hype. The artwork is very dynamic, but story-wise, I feel like it's just a mess. And yeah, it's badly written. And yeah, fan service can be annoying sometimes. I know that might be weird coming from someone whose favorite manga is Fairy Tail. Many times in Fairy Tail the fan service pisses me off. Like, I'm fine with a certain level. Like, sure, I know that many have a thing for that. Of course, you know, if it's fan service aimed at female readership, I'm not saying that, hey, great, put back some clothes on, but when something only is happening for the sake of fan service, that can be annoying. So yeah, I feel like those are the things that are pissing me off the most. Yeah, I think so. Bad writing, surely. And you know, when I feel like the writer or the creator is trying to manipulate me, like when a scene is trying to be a tearjerker and I'm like, no, like I'm not that invested in the story, I'm not that invested in the characters, and I feel like you're just trying to force a tear out of me, but that's just bullshit. So I don't like writing that like that. Mr. Gerdude, Oda, I'm gonna kill off Ace. Editor, teardrops. Yeah. Yeah. I still miss Ace. Christian, what do you think of Eden Zero, new manga series of Fairy Tail manga? So far I'm enjoying it. I think it has potential. Like the last few chapters were like, okay, now I'm really interested to see where this is all going. I don't want to spoil things because I'm not sure if anyone read that or not. Of course, every chapter is released simultaneously with the Japanese release, so it is a great thing that Eden Zero is a series that is very easy to keep up with officially. I'm not talking about scanlations because I'm supporting my boy Hero. So yeah, but yeah, the twist that happened when they arrived in Norma, I think that is really intriguing. So I'm really looking forward to reading the upcoming chapters. I know many are complaining about the character designs, or even that some characters are in Eden Zero from Fairy Tail. I don't mind that. Like, we've seen that happen before with Hiro Mashima's works, so I just feel like that's something that's his style. Like, his Mashima verse, kinda. Like, there were many iterations of Spider-Man and things like that, so I don't mind seeing a second Happy or an Erza, or please let there be another Jalal or Zeekart, because he was one of my favorite in the previous story, so that's something I don't mind. I really like the two protagonists so far. Of course, compared to Mashima's previous protagonists, they aren't anything outstanding. But then again, I usually enjoy Hiro Mashima's works, not because they are outstanding, but they just hit the right spot with me. Like, I resonate with his stories, his writing, his characters. Like, he can easily make me care for the characters. And, that's the thing I'm looking for the most in stories, that I want characters I can care about. I really want to feel for them when I'm reading a story. And some stories can do that, right? Like, most of Hiro Mashima's stories did that for me, and some not. So, yeah. Let's see. That's some username. Sonic Ninja 101 Warrior of Light. Later Sunny. Oh, sorry, I thought you were going offline. My bad. No, I was just saying goodbye to someone who said his goodbye. His, her. I'm not sure. I think it was his. Yeah, I don't know. Mathieu Lombe. I'm still butchering your name. I'm sorry, but nice to see you again. Do you have plans, ideas for another series? Yeah, I think I even mentioned. I mentioned one of my ideas in this live stream. That I do have a sports manga planned, in the making, kinda. And apart from that, yeah, I have plans for other series. Like, I really want to make a series out of Dreamwalker, my one shot I did a few years ago. Apart from that, I have some other ideas for other stories. So I'm really looking forward to working on those in the future. And yeah, I have some snippets of ideas that could be made into stories that I didn't work out yet. It could happen. And yeah, in the future, I'm also would be interested in working with writers, because working with a writer is really something else, and that would give me a chance to work on stories that I wouldn't be able to come up with on my own. So yeah, I plan to do many things in the future. uh 79. Now I know what to avoid so Sunny doesn't kill me. I'm not that aggressive, so don't worry. But yeah, those are the things I'm looking for in stories, and I'm not looking for in stories. Jesse Gilbert, I hear you on fan surveys and trying to force things on the audience in the writing. Kill la Kill would be my favorite anime if the fan service wasn't so ridiculous. Yeah, like I heard that Kill la Kill is very good, but you know, truth to be told, I never gave it a chance because just looking at it, I was like, no, this is beyond ridiculous. Although, you know, it has crazy animation, it has, I think it has Hiroyuki Sawano's music, so yeah, it should be something I could very much enjoy, but yeah, the fan service is just seemingly ridiculous. Sonic Ninja replied, "Are there any new mangas that caught your interests, honey?" It's honey with an E. That's okay. Eden Zero is surely one of those. Apart from that, I read the first chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's one of the newer series in Jump. I'm not sure about that yet. I mostly enjoy the art style of it. The story had its points, so I probably will look into it. Apart from that, yeah, I think those are the newer series I read. Like, I haven't read the two latest Jumpstart, so yeah, I'm surely not caught up with those. Yeah, I haven't read that many manga recently. So yeah, probably Eden Zero is a thing, and you know, for not that new manga, Promise Neverland is, yeah, that manga series is really good. I think it's one of the best additions in Jump in the last years. So I really enjoyed that series. Mr. Gerjude, shooting stars equal dragons. Yeah, I'm not sure what that comment is for, but yeah. Echo, I think, I can't pronounce it. I think Siren is a good example of good writing. Great setup, comedy, characters, and a cool power system. Thank you. Yes, I can only agree. Like, Siren is such an underrated manga. I wanted to say anime, but sadly that never happened, and damn. Siren is really well done. I really like the art style as well, and everything is. It's a great manga. And I think it's a shame that the creator couldn't come up with a new story that was equally well done. Like, he had some tries, but yeah, he couldn't get any success with those. So I really hope that he will return one day. Like, you know, it was third time the charm for Horikoshi of My Hero Academia. So I'm really hoping for the creator of Siren, Higashiro, his name, I think. Yeah, it's by the way Jesse Gilbert wrote. So, so yeah, that's my nickname. I'm sorry it's confusing, especially when I'm only pronouncing it, and I'm pronouncing it with an accent. But yeah, it's Seny. That's my nickname. um, the Black Otaku Gamer. Good luck for your manga. Thank you. Mr. Gerdude, I like Ross's account. Yeah, I haven't read that. Not even the Jumpstart, so I can't say anything about it. Yeah, actually there was I think that was Actage. That was kind of interesting. There are things that were kind of stupid, but I would have been interested to see where it's going. Of course, it wasn't picked up in the English Jumps, so yeah, but it was an interesting story to see in Jump. And the artwork was nice, especially given that the artist behind the Actage is, I think she's 20 or 21, like ridiculously young. So yeah, it was mostly the artwork that got me interested. You know, there are cases when I read manga because I'm interested in the artwork and not in the story. Hello, Black Clover. Like, yeah, I think I have the same with Jujutsu Kaisen because, yeah, for some reason I really like the raw art style, and some of the shots are really well executed. And I feel the same way about Black Clover. Like, some of the scenes are really well drawn, like really dynamic, really hype feeling. But in the end, it's the story that's important for me. So, um, oh yeah. So yeah, in Eden Zero, the dragons are shooting. Yeah, I really like that. I think that was one of the best part in the first chapter. Uh, Jesse Gilbert. Okay, now I got to check out Fairy Tail and Siren. I can only recommend them, like, both of them. Both of them have small bits, Fairy Tail a bit more fan service, but they also do have really great writing. I know many consider Fairy Tail to be badly written. I personally really like it. It had many stupid choices with the writing. Some things were executed badly, but when the story is bringing the A game, I think it's really good. And so is Siren. The Black Otaku Gamer, what artist are you inspired by to draw? I started drawing manga inspired by Naruto. So Naruto was my first manga drawing inspiration. Before that, I was drawing Digimon and Pokemon. Like, I invented my own Pokemon and Digimon and stuff like that. But later on, it surely was Naruto. And after that, it was Hiro Mashima. First with Rave Master and then with Fairy Tail. And now also Haikyuu is one of my biggest inspiration when it comes to manga. Drawing, writing, character drama. Haikyuu has really good character drama. Like Haikyuu is for me, it's the best sport manga ever done. And I know it is considered to be one of the best worldwide. Like, taking consideration every sports manga ever. Like, it's really well done. Jesse Gilbert, do you like any video games? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Pokemon video games. Of course, I'm very behind with the games. Like, I only recently, not recently, but I only started to play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire this year, and I'm still stuck like around my second badge in the game because I don't really have the time to play, and I never even tried the Sun and Moon games. I have Pokemon Sun, but the box is unopened. Like, the official sealing or the wrapping is still on it because I didn't even touch it because at the moment I just don't have the time to spend on video games. I very much like Final Fantasy games. Like Final Fantasy X is my favorite ever video game and favorite story. Like it's just awesome. And Kingdom Hearts. I really like Kingdom Hearts, and I'm super looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. I won't have the time to play it, but I probably will just watch walkthrough videos while drawing or something because, yeah. At the moment, that's the only chance I can enjoy video games mostly. But you know, if in the future I can work on a better schedule and I can become faster, maybe I will have time for a little bit more video games. Ugh, this is stuck. So we'll see. I'm not much of a gamer or player myself. I mostly enjoy the stories in video games and not the game experience. So there were many times when I was like, sure, I'm super interested in this game, I don't want to play it. So I was just watching someone else play it. Because, you know, that was the fastest way I could enjoy the story. But still keep up with my work. Let's see, Grimheim, have to go, Ivy Sunny. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry it's so late in Europe. But yeah, see you next time. Madness, it's getting late. Keep up the good work, Sonny. Yeah, I think it's late for Germans, so see you guys. But yeah, we're going on, so yeah. I'm gonna say goodbye to them and not for all of you. You should try out Persona 5. Oh, yeah, Persona 4 was a game I really enjoyed. I never played it, but I was watching a walkthrough. I mean, yeah, I was watching someone playing through it while I was driving next to the TV. It was a lot of fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. I also watched a few episodes of the animation of it. It wasn't bad, but obviously the game was better. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm done with the first layer of inking here, so I was thinking about sketching up a new page. I just can't find my paper, so there we go. Yeah, so as you can see, this page is not done yet. But usually when I'm done with the first layer of inking, I'm gonna erase the lines, I'm gonna fill in some black, some shading and all that stuff. But I want to give a little bit of time to this, because like I mentioned, it's a good way to spot your mistakes. So I'm gonna finish this a bit later. And since I promised some penciling, I'm gonna start the page from scratch. That was my storyboard. Yeah. This is my majestic storyboard. Yeah, I didn't do any proper storyboarding, so let's just take a look at it. So I'm gonna switch to a blue mechanical pencil, and I'm gonna do the color borders first. Also, to keep this video kind of spoiler-free for this installment of Saigami, this won't be the page coming after the page I was drawing previously. So yeah, hopefully that will spoil the story less. And that's why I'm not filling in the speech bubbles, so you won't know what's going on. No. Yeah, like if you read the part in issue 90 of Saturday AM, you kinda have the gist of what's going on, so So yeah. Alrighty, so this page will be kind of easy because it only has 3 panels. Okay, let's take a look at the comments. Where are we? Where was the comments? Yeah, I should try Persona 5. Yeah, I'm planning to look into it. Jesse Gilbert, what do you think of the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3? Boy, yeah, part of me is super excited, part of me is like meh. Like I said, I'm not enjoying Kingdom Hearts for the game experience, so seeing the return of the gummy ship and the super guns and all the bullshit is like, I'm not interested in that. Like, that seems super childish. So I'm not. I don't give a crap about those features. But story-wise, the last scene in the trailer with Aqua, like, boy, like, that's strong. Like, I really want to see where the story is going. So yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts had some great moments of writing and some great execution with the story, character drama, and all the stuff. So I'm really looking forward to see where it is going. I would like to say how it ends, but seriously, with all the spin-offs and numbered episodes of Kingdom Hearts, I don't think this will be the last part. So we'll see. And I'm sketching up ahead. If I go silent, it will be because I will be sketching up the face, and I'm not sure about any of you, but whenever I'm drawing the face, I need concentration. Like, many times I'm doing the same face I'm drawing, and for some reason I need to concentrate more whenever I'm drawing a facial expression, especially when my storyboard is like this. Like, seriously, I never draw the facial expression, so yeah, it's not easy. But yeah, keeping up with the comments because I feel like I'm really behind here. The Black Otaku Gamer, ever feel like you hate Boruto because you feel like they are trying to remake a newer generation of Naruto? Boruto doesn't carry. That was probably the main reason I ditched watching Boruto. Because I know that. Oh shoot! Windows just gave me a very nasty message that I should restart my computer, but yeah, that's not happening now. I hope. If I disappear, that's because of Windows. Yeah, apparently Windows just found some sort of virus on my computer. I'm not too happy about that, but yeah, we'll see. Probably it's just Windows things, I hope. Please. But yeah, you know, I really enjoyed the Boruto movie. So I was hopeful for the new Boruto series, but it just became ridiculous. Like, there was a reason Naruto became so popular. It was loved by so many, and yeah, Boruto is not delivering any of that. And the manga is, yeah, I can't get behind the artwork. Like, it's just no, yeah. Boruto is a letdown. I heard that episode 60 some was really well done. Like, the animation was super intense, and it was a good part of writing. But that was probably because that was from the movie that originally Kishimoto himself wrote. So yeah, Boruto for me is like watching the fillers of Naruto. And we all know that the fillers did suck big time. Like, there were a few episodes of fillers that were really well done. Like, some of my favorite scenes in the Naruto anime was a filler. That was a filler flashback for Naruto's and Sasuke's fight on the rooftop. And even though I knew it was a filler, it had some really great additions to the character drama. So I really like that. And, some of the flashbacks on Naruto's childhood had really good drama in the fillers. But yeah, Boruto is not like those fillers. And of course, I stopped after like whatever 10-ish episodes. But yeah, it just, yeah. It feels like they are beating a dead horse. Oops, sorry. I hit the camera's cable. Jesse Gilbert, I was starting to fall out of playing video games for a long time until someone showed me Dark Souls 3. I think I spent like 400 hours at least playing that game. Oops. Wow, that's impressive. But if you get hooked on a game, it is probably a good one. I know Dark Souls is pretty popular, so probably it is for a reason. I never really looked into it, but yeah, I've seen games that I was like, yeah, I could get behind this. I could see more of this. Actually, yeah, one other favorite game was Drakengard. That was a really great game. Story-wise for me, once again, I was only watching someone else playing it next to me when I was drawing, but that story was, I really loved the story. And of course, it was pretty intense with all the dragons, at least with one dragon. Yeah, but yeah, I like those games. Mr. Sherwood, Persona 3 FPS was my favorite. Yeah, I never looked into Persona 3, like, I only know 4, but I really like that. Leok K110. Have you heard of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Oh yeah, I haven't seen trailers for that. And, I think I'm excited for those. Especially since my very first game was Pokemon Yellow. Like, I played Yellow first and I only played Red and Blue after that. So the fact that they are basically remaking Yellow has a special place in my heart. And some of the features seem very interesting, especially how they combining it with Pokemon Go. I'm still a Pokemon Go player. I'm not sure about any of you, but I'm still playing Go. Not a very intense player because God knows I don't have time to just walk around hunting for virtual monsters. But whenever I'm outside walking or going to work or from one place to another, I'm sure playing Pokemon. But yeah, that seems interesting. And yeah, I think in the future, if I will have the chance to own a V or have a V, I actually would like to try out this new Pokemon game for the experience. I have some fears because some aspects of Pokemon feel childish nowadays. Of course, maybe I'm just grown up now, and maybe if I was like 12, I would be more excited about some features, but I'm not, so we'll see. I guess. Try to epic. Are you French? No, I'm Hungarian. I do speak a little bit of French. I used to learn French for 8 years in elementary school, but that's it. Zami9, finished my sketch. Time to relax. Good job. take your time to chill. The Black Otaku Gamer, do you watch Tokyo Ghoul Re? If you did, what did you feel like when Kaneki came back? Is it a new series? I watched the first two anime of Tokyo Ghoul, but yeah, that was Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Route A. So yeah, I don't think I watched Re yet. Like I know there's a new season of anime of it. Maybe it's done already, or it's just started this. Yeah, I don't think I watched that. I'm not sure if I will or not. Tokyo Ghoul never really hooked me on. Like, sure, I was interested enough to watch the first few seasons of anime. There were some aspects of it that I enjoyed or found interesting, but mostly it was cringy for me. Usually, edgy stories are not my type. So I can't say I was ever a fan of Tokyo Ghoul. I was mostly watching it because, you know, I could see the hype. There were many artists I follow, I enjoy their works and stuff that were doing Tokyo Ghoul related artworks and fan arts and everything. So I was interested, and I was interested to see if I can enjoy the show the same way they do or not. So it was more of a curiosity on my end, watching Tokyo Ghoul. But yeah, I really did enjoy the music. So yeah, I'm not too invested in the story to make time to watch the new season. Maybe I will binge watch it in the future, whenever I will have the time. But right now, oops, sorry, I'm just moving around. I'm not too interested in Tokyo Ghoul. Mr. Jojo, that's Amy, I wanna see. Try to epic Square Enix after Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess it's time to wait another I think decade. Yeah. But in the meantime, let's make like Kingdom Hearts 3.2, 3.9, and all that stuff. Yeah, like, the wait's been too long, and I can only hope that it will be worth it. Like, sometimes it is worth to wait so long for stuff, and sometimes it's just nah. Like, for example, with Jurassic World, I think that was worth the wait, because after the first 3 films of Jurassic Park, I felt like, yeah, Jurassic World was worth the wait. And then Fallen Kingdom came. Yeah. Appropriate title. Anahi Avalos. What are some pros and cons about driving manga traditionally? Let's see. Yeah, let's see. I would say one of the best things in drawing traditionally is that you will be able to hold the finished work in your hands. Like, of course, I know if you're doing it digitally, you can print it out, but it just feels somehow different that you can actually hold the page in your hand, see your inking lines, see all the work you put into it. You can see the different layers of ink you put down, maybe even all the mistakes or the connections you made. And maybe it's just an artist thing, but I really enjoy seeing those, and not just with my own work, but with the works of others. So I think traditional artwork still holds the value that it somehow feels more real than digital art, even though I know very well that digital art is not in any way easier than traditional art. So that on the contrary, with digital art, you can make corrections easier. There are techniques that can make your things faster or maybe even easier, and definitely cheaper. Like you won't have to spend money on paper, on art tools, on ink, whatever you name it. So digital definitely has the advantage like that. Like sure, you will need to invest in the proper equipment that allows you to work digitally as easy as possible. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thoughts here. But you know that's a one-time investment. While with traditional, you have to spend money on paper and pencils, pens, ink, erasers, coloring tools, whiteouts, everything. And of course, you will have to store all of those. Like I have boxes in my room that are filled with pages and traditional artworks and all that stuff. So yeah. When it comes to the actual working process, I don't think there's such a huge difference when it comes to pros and cons. I think it's more up to personal preferences. Some people prefer digital over traditional. Some people, like me, prefer traditional over digital. Maybe something that's a pro or a con for me in traditional art is quite the contrary for someone who's more invested in digital art. But yeah, digital will always have the advantage when it comes to price and making corrections. Like I feel like with digital you have the feeling of safety, because no matter what you do, you always will be able to make the corrections easier. Unless you're working on your own layer, then you're sucked. But anyway, yeah, but as with traditional, sometimes when you make a mistake, you just have to scrap your page, and there's no Control Z option for you. So yeah, but at the same time, you know, traditional is kind of more natural feeling, and there's kind of an adrenaline in actually working like this, and you know that yeah, the next line I'm gonna do with ink will be permanent, and I have to make it right, because if I mess up, then that will be hard to correct. Of course, it can be corrected, but yeah, you get the point by now, I guess. Let's see. Saigami9, they are my Instagram. My Instagram name is Tatsumi Roku. You can find me because I did that competition. Yeah. If you go to the hashtag Saigami under dash or whatever that's called, under dash, I don't know. But if you check out the hashtag for the competition, you will be able to find Zami's artworks. Mr. Church, dude, they should have just ended it with the movie. I agree. Like, I understand there were still many options with Naruto, like countless games, and it was just selling too well overseas and in Japan to let it die marketing-wise. But yeah, Boruto lacks the heart Naruto had. It's kind of a harder angle to draw with the face. So I'm probably gonna make some changes, but for now. I'm gonna keep it like this. Yeah. Let's see, where was I? Leo K. People aren't happy about the part where you didn't fight Pokemon in the wild. I'm honestly not bothered by it. Yeah. If it makes grinding training easier, I'm not against it. I'm interested how that will change the game. Like, will it make it easier? Like, I feel like some of the newer games were just so much easier than the old ones. Like, I think, yeah, like Pokemon Y and X, those were like so easy compared to the old Pokemon games. It's just kind of ridiculous. So we'll see how that will change. Of course, we have to keep in mind that these new games will be aimed at a new generation of kids. Probably this will be a gateway game for many kids who never experienced the Pokemon game. So I think their aim is more them than the old fans. They know the old fans will get the games anyway because we just can't live without Pokemon. So Sammy, I like the design of this character. Sammy, well, thanks. I'm good, I'm not the only one who likes the design. Leo K, I'm excited for the games. I can finally ride my favorite Pokemon Arcanine. Yeah, that will be awesome. Like, that's something that feels really like the anime. I was actually excited about seeing the Pokemons roaming in the wild. Like, that will indeed make it feel more like the anime or what a real Pokemon world could feel like. So I'm interested in seeing those features. The okay, I'm a Pokemon nerd and I'm 24. Oh, I'm the same and I'm 28, so I guess you're never too old for Pokemon. Zami, hey, I'm 16 and I still like Sonic. I think you're okay. You both are okay, believe me. Toka, hey. Hi, Toka. Okay, I made my profile picture. I like to draw Pokemon. That's cool. Echo, feeling good, son. What, will my nickname be a running joke or something? Try to happy. Boruto is a spoiled brat. That is the only problem I have. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he is. I'm trying to think what to say about that, but of course, they try to make it feel like his problems are relatable, but it just feels annoying because we know that his problems are so, I'm not sure what the right frame is, probably insignificant compared to the scale of the story of Naruto. Like, we all know what hardships Naruto had to grow up with, but many other characters have to grow up with. You name it, everyone had a tragic past. Except for Sakura, who's an annoying girl, but you know, most of the characters in Naruto had hardships to grow up with. And, you know, when they try to put Boruto on the same level as their problems, it just feels like, yeah, you're an annoying little brat. Like, you have to accept that your dad is the Hokage and stuff like that. Of course, Konohamaru kind of had the same issues when he was a kid, so I feel like that's the rich kid problem. Like, you know, that could be relatable for some. And sure, you know, if your father is not around for you, then it doesn't really matter if he's not around because he's always at work, ignoring you and your family, or because he's not around anymore. But for me, the worst part, actually, in that conflict, is to see how bad of a dad Naruto become. Like, of course, you can say that sure, he didn't had a proper father image in front of him, but that still doesn't justifies the way he acts towards his family. Of course, that could also be cultural difference because, you know, in Japanese families, it is quite the normal that the father figure is most focused on work, and that comes before family and stuff like that. Not just in Japanese, but in many culture. But yeah, on the scale of the word of Naruto, yeah, Naruto is still an annoying brat. But he has room for improvement, at least, I guess. Kevin Pham, where did you go to have your manga copyrighted, and is it officially copyrighted? I don't know too much about copyrights, but you know, once you have your property published under your name, it's copyrighted under your name. Like, you know, this book is my intellectual property. It's under my name, so it's under my copyright. Of course, you can go and copyright words and brands, but once you have something physical, something that is running under your name, and it is proven that it is your intellectual property, there's your copyright. Of course, it can differ from country to country. There are probably different copyright laws in Hungary and in the US. But yeah, I never really looked into copyrights. But yeah, you know, my manga is published with Saturday AM. And yeah, that's where I got published. That's why I'm still published. Jordan Duffy, hi Sunny. I've noticed that when I'm working on pages for my short story, my art isn't as good as when I'm drawing my main character. Do you ever have this problem, and do you have any tips? I would think that probably because you're more used to drawing your main character compared to other characters in your short story. You know, when you're starting a new story, you will need time to get used to drawing characters. Because, you know, if it's your main character, you're probably already used, you can draw them from any angles, any facial expressions, you know the character well, you know all of their features from memory. So that's easier. It's easier to stay consistent. And with other new characters that come into the story, or when you're starting a new story, you need to learn how to draw that character. You need to get used to it. Like, whenever I'm having a new character joining the story, I usually have to look up how he or she looks like, because I just can't remember. I'm making mistakes, my art is less consistent with the hair, with the clothing, and all the stuff. That's why I think it's really important to have reference images of your own characters in front of you when you're drawing a new character. Like, I usually have a copy of the previous volumes of Saigami in front of me, if the character are deeper than those, or the page I first draw that character, or a character sheet in front of me, so I can look up that, and that will help me to make sure that I have the same consistency whenever I'm drawing the character. And with time, when I'm already used to drawing that character, it will become easier. And obviously, you know, your main character is probably the character you drew the most. So I would say that's the reason. Kevin Pham. Jordan Nuffy, I do mine on the computer. I hope everyone good luck on their manga. Hopefully we live up to the past generation of manga artists. I sure hope so. Jordan Nuffy, good luck to you. Thank you. Leo K, I think the story will be better if they made it about Mitsuki. Yeah, that could be an interesting addition to the Naruto universe. Kevin Pham, I could never get into Naruto. Glad to see other people were able to like it. I think Naruto is a series you kinda have to grow up with. Like, looking at it now, I'm not sure if, you know, I was not knowing anything about the story that I could get into it, because, you know, nowadays there are so many series and titles like Naruto. And yeah, I think it was way easier to get into Naruto back when it was the big thing. Like, I was 14, so yeah, that was 15 years ago when I got into Naruto. And I grew up with it. Like, I was waiting for the chapters every week. I was watching the anime episode when they came out. In the beginning, I only watched the anime episode when I could get a DVD. So that was like ridiculous. Like, sometimes we had to wait like weeks to get our share of episodes from Naruto. And yeah, so I think that was Naruto was a big thing for that generation, for many anime fans. But if you kind of miss that train, and for someone who never got into Naruto, I think it will be way harder to get into it now, because, you know, I think the anime subculture is something that is changing. The trends are changing. Of course, that won't change that Naruto is a great manga, but you know, you probably have seen some other titles from the more recent series that might have resonated more with you, or you know, you have now other expectations than what we had 10, 15, 20 years ago. So yeah, and you know, in Naruto we could see the characters grow up, and I think that was also a very special part of the story, that we literally spent years with the story and the manga and the anime. And as Naruto grew up, we grew up with him. And I'm not sure about anyone else, but when I've seen Naruto the last movie, and the ending credit was about the wedding, of Naruto's wedding, and that just hit me so hard. Like, there were so many feels, and even though I was 20 some years, like I think I was 26-ish years old when that came out, that was the first time I really felt like, damn, we've grown up. Because, you know, yeah, that was just, yeah, that was the feeling that, yeah, Naruto grew up, I grew up, this is it. Then, of course, Boruto came, but still, yeah, I think that was the closure for a generation, including me. And of course, the Boruto movie was something I really enjoyed, but that should have been it. Mr. Dude, at least my Hima Sakura is more useful. Yeah, they are very useful fans. Kevin Pham, thank you Saigami Project, and congrats on your future success. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're right, Saigami Project. There are a lot of manga anime series today that kind of feel like Naruto. I believe we need more manga that are more unique, like Yu Yu Hakusho. It's kind of funny because Yu Yu Hakusho for me never really felt that unique. Like I might have seen it later. I think I'm not sure. Yu Yu Hakusho ran in Hungarian TV. I mean, we even got a dub and it was pretty popular. But for me, it screamed Dragon Ball all over. So, although I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, I did enjoy many of the fights. It just never really hooked me on. But maybe, it's just me and Togashi's works because I never really got into Hunter x Hunter. So maybe it's just me, but yeah, for me that felt too much like Dragon Ball. But yeah, I guess we could use some more original titles. Of course, it is very hard to create anything original nowadays. And for me, I think it's less the originality I'm looking for in a story. I'm looking for great characters and good writing. Like I don't care if I have to see something that probably has been done before, as long as it's well executed, it is well written, and I care about the characters. And sometimes even if sometimes even if the story isn't that well written, but if I care about the characters, I probably will end up watching it. But yeah, I think originality nowadays has a little bit less value for me. Sammy, I'm at the point where I can draw my main character 99% of the time without reference. I sometimes see him in my sleeve. That's cool. Yeah, I think it happens. I know I had dreams with my characters, so coming from Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha and Fullmetal Alchemist, yes. Fullmetal Alchemist for sure. Strike me more compared to what Watch or Code Geass. Yeah, I really like all of those series, except for Yu Yu Hakusho. Like Inuyasha, Fullmetal Alchemist, and Code Geass were all really well done. And yeah, I think Fullmetal Alchemist. I think that would be the one that could set to be the most original of these. Like this, I think like Fullmetal Alchemist is just one of a kind. Like it is great. It is really one of the best shonen stories ever. Torian Clayton, hey Sunny. Lol. Yeah. Hi. Coming from when I say unique about Yu Yu Hakusho, I believe like the dialogue from the era of when Yu Yu Hakusho released, it looked like it was ahead of its time. We saw Yusuke more than a two-dimensional character. We saw character development in Yusuke and also in villains as well as like Sensui or Toguro. We psychologically explained, and it was amazing to see those levels of understanding and everything like that. I see your point there. Yeah, I totally get that. And like I said, that was probably me getting into Yu Yu Hakusho later. Like I was already in high school when Yu Yu Hakusho came to Hungary, so it was several years after it ran in Shonen Jump. And by the time I first saw Yu Hakusho, I was already into Naruto and One Piece. So next to those, it felt outdated for me. So I think it is really, really important when you're getting into a series. Of course, masterpieces will be just as enjoyable later on. Like, I think that, for example, Fullmetal Alchemist is indeed an anime you can get into anytime. Like, I'm pretty sure that even 10 years from now, Fullmetal Alchemist will be an amazing series. But yeah, like we can see with Boruto, Naruto is probably already outdated for today's generation. So yeah, that's a tricky thing with anime and trends. Try to epic, even trash anime changes, except it's still trash. Yeah, we're kind of getting a lot of trash anime nowadays. Yeah, let's see. Where was I? Coming from... Exactly, Fullmetal Alchemist is amazing. We see so much character development and a lot about science. It was educational and dramatic. Yeah, like the characters, the character drama, the world building, the villains. Everything is just so on point. Fullmetal Alchemist is incredible. Now I really feel like rewatching it. Is amazing, and I'm really happy that they did Brotherhood, the anime. I mean, the original, not the original, the first anime wasn't that bad. It was very enjoyable, and that was the thing that got me into Fullmetal Alchemist first. But still, Brotherhood, the series that followed the manga accurately. It just gave so much justice to the story. Yeah. You guys are off here, so we're gonna do some erasing. So take 2 on this face. Okay. Have you seen Violet Evergarden? I've seen the first episode, maybe even the second episode. I'm not sure if I ever seen the second. I've seen the first. It was intriguing, but I never looked at the rest of the series. I think I will give it a try because I think it's had potential, had beautiful artwork, great animation in the first episode. It never really got me that invested in the first episode that I had a feeling like, oh, I should binge watch this. Although, yeah, I think I watched the first episode when it came out on Netflix, so there wasn't a chance for binge watching. But yeah, I think I will look it up when I will have the time. There are a lot of series I need to binge watch when the time comes, so I'm gonna give that a try. Zemi, Fullmetal is my favorite anime and manga of all time. It came into my life when I needed it the most. A bit personal, but it helped me cope with some losses. Yeah, that's great, and I think that's one of the most amazing aspects of anime and manga, that it can affect our daily life. Sometimes you just find a story that will help you, that might be able to change your life. And yeah, I had the same experience with some stories. and it is very much possible that some of the stories that are very dear to me are because like are like that because they meant something for me on a personal level and they affected my life. Um, yeah, still a little bit off. Jesse Gilbert. I really wonder how most of the movie stuff that's so popular nowadays will age and look in 10 years. Yeah. Um, I'm really not sure about that. I mean, moe is a very wide term, and there are admittedly very good moe anime. Um, yeah, uh, that's a good point. I can't even imagine like it's a new thing. Like I just recently watched the new Giguk video on moe, like the evolution or revolution of moe, and he had some really interesting points. So yeah, I guess we'll see. That will be interesting to see, for sure. Um, okay, some episodes made me cry. Yeah, an anime is really good when it makes you cry. Um, Jesse Gilbert. I feel like bringing me to tears is one of the benchmarks for what puts a series among my favorites. Yeah, I can only agree. Like, when you can have such strong emotions from an anime, it's the real deal. Like, it's true. Like, even the stupidest joke can bring you to laughters and stuff like that. But when a story hits you so hard that you're up in tears, then you know that it is something special. And that's why I find it so annoying when I can see that a story is trying to be a tearjerker and it is not really giving me the feelings. It just wants to give me the feelings, but it doesn't. So yeah, but when it is really happening, then you know that it is indeed the magic of that series, that story, those characters, the world, and it is real. And, writing wise, I really hope that someday I will be able to write content like that can truly touch my readers, because I truly believe that's not something you can plan. And it's not like you just sit down and, oh yeah, I'm gonna draw this, and I'm sure everyone will be up in tears, because that's something you can plan. Like, yeah, if you're planning it, that's how the forced things will happen. And I'm dreading that. Like, I don't even ever want to do that. Kevin Pham at Jesse Gilbert agreed. Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. it's always so hard to get the right height of the characters. Or maybe it's just me. Having fun. Yeah, I arrange my pre-made characters in a storyline, and then I have all the antagonists on one side, and then all the protagonists on one side, and then I create my stories. Sometimes, if a chapter is in one of my series has never-ending unsolved aspect in the story, and it involves a certain character breakthrough, I'm able to remember what inspired me to make those sad scenes. Yeah, I think it is always important to remember where you're creating some aspects of the story, or why you want to write a story, what you want to tell with your story, what's your message, what's the point. And I think that can help you writing a big deal. Lotus Petals, hi. Hi. Just a Gilbert. At the same time, though, I don't always want each series I watch to make me cry. Sometimes I like series that just focuses on humor and cuteness. I agree. Like, there are times when I feel like only watching something for fun, something easy on me. Like, even if it means just rewatching something they've seen, because sometimes we just watch anime for the fun and that's all we need, and not always the drama. Like, there are series I kept delaying to watch because I knew what was coming, and I just couldn't bring myself to experience those sad feelings or the possible drama. And yeah, sometimes it's what you need. Sometimes, of course, an anime can slap you in the face with unexpected drama. Like, I remember watching Scadance. I'm not sure if any of you follow that series. Yeah, Scadance was the story I was watching for the fun. I of course really enjoyed the art style as well, and it was super fun. Like, it was basically Gintama in a school setting, but it resonated more with me because it wasn't so over the top like Gintama, and I wasn't expecting such huge dramas in Scat Dance. But boy, when it came to characters flashback and stuff like that, it just killed me. Like, yeah, like one of the main characters had such a backstory that was just killing me. Like, oh my god, it was so well done, and it hit me so hard because I wasn't expecting that, because Scadance is a series I was watching for fun. The character was funny, and then it stabbed me hard in the face and in the heart. And yeah, for me that was one of the most surprising animes I come to love. I was there for the fun, and then it hit me hard. It stabbed all over me. And yeah, of course I knew there was a real value in Scadance, because it wasn't all about the fun. Behind the fun there were really great character improvements, and many great and heartwarming scenes. And yeah, I knew that the artist was a really good writer, but yeah, I wasn't expecting like such high level of drama, but it was really, really well done. Kim Fan, but it really shows strength and character development in those characters when you know how to put those kinds of dramatic storylines together. And for any series you're making, yeah, I agree. The okay, I like my love story. Yeah, love stories are nice. I enjoy them more as well. Lotus Petals, yeah, I like balance of everything. Balance. Jesse Gilbert, I've been planning to watch Serial Experiments Lane for many months now, holding off until I feel okay with handling that level of depression from what people have said about it. Oof. I haven't heard about that. But yeah, some animes are better to keep off and make sure you're ready for them. Uh, Having fun. Funny stories or romantic stories are also good sellers. Yeah, because for many, manga and anime is a source of fun. Um, so many times we just want to have fun, and I have a great number of funny or romantic stories that I really like. So yeah, it's always good to have a wide selection of anime to watch. Sometimes they can surprise you. I enjoy to keep up a balance with those elements. Like I usually like to not over dramatize things, which is kind of funny because what I'm drawing here is kind of a dramatic scene, I guess. Um, but at the same time, I like to keep a balance with the dramatic scenes and light-hearted scenes, uh, with the comic reliefs. If you read Saigami, you know that even in the serious moments, I like to throw in some more light-hearted elements. Um, just to make sure that things don't get too depressiony, especially early in the story, because we're just 2 volumes in the story, so I don't feel like throwing the huge character drama, and the readers will feel justified here in the story. Jesse Gilbert. I feel like anime manga fans like romance way more than the general non-anime going population. Could be. And possibly because we do have so many shipping wars. Like, even in non-romantic animes, you will find so many ships. And yeah, I guess you get a point there because we kind of want to see romance in everything, even in non-romantic stuff. Be it, you know, stray couples, uh, boys love, girls love, you name it. Like, it's kind of funny how sports mangas tend to do best with female audiences, the fujoshis who are basically shipping the boys in the manga, even though many times that was never ever really the intention of the creator. Sometimes yes, like We know that with Prince of Tennis, the author knew about how Fujoshi's take his characters, and there's a very good chance that with other sports mangas that can be the same. But yeah, I guess we're looking for romance in everything. Like I know I like to ship characters. Like some shippings tend to be ridiculous, like not just about crack parents, but sometimes people go like, oh, they are standing next to each other in a panel. They must be a couple in the future, and that's just bullshit. That's just searching for signs of romantic moments desperately. But yeah, there are quite a number of ships I personally have dear for me. Even in newer series, like if we take a look at Eden Zero, like we're only like 6 chapters in the story, and yeah, I could totally get behind the Rebecca and Shiki ship because they kind of remind me of Hiro Mashima's previous hero and heroine couples. So yeah, I guess it's true that we enjoy romance a bit more, and many other cultures, like audiovisual cultures or novels or whatever you name it, don't really have various aspects like harems and stuff like that. I think that's rarer in movies and stuff like that, while in anime it basically became a genre. So yeah. Sami, how about this guy? An isekai in which it's taught from the point of view of someone who already lives in that world and the hero actually tries to get home. Just a thought. Yeah. I'm just thinking that, recently there have been so many isekais that I don't think, of course, I'm really not up to date with recent animes. So I surely don't think I've seen anything like that before, so you can always give it a try, especially since isekai is a hype now. Yeah, I feel like isekai is a two-edged sword nowadays because so many people are bored of it, but then again it's still very popular, but it is also getting kind of out of hand. Like there's so many ridiculous and badly written isekai nowadays. And in the end, it's all about the execution. Let's see. Kevin Pham. Yep, even in shonen, there are people who accepted Ichigo from Bleach to be Rukia, but he ends up with Orihime. Yeah, although I was an Ichihime shipper, so I was super happy with that ending. But I totally got the point why many was shipping Rukia and Ichigo. But then again, divorces were really ridiculous. Like, there's just too much hatred with those shipping wars. Jesse Gilbert, good stream, Sunny. I'm gonna hop off so I can go buy a fish and eat some dinner. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you for being here. Lotus Petals. I find romance sometimes hard to pull off because you don't want it to be so predictable. How do you keep your characters' relationships interesting? Yeah, that's a good one because I don't know if being predictable is a bad thing. Of course, if you want to go for something like a haremish setting, then keeping it a bit of mysterious thing who will be the final pairing is a good thing. But I kind of like there are many romance stories I like where the couple is already given at the beginning of the story, and the interesting thing is not about who will end up with who, but how. And I'm kind of aiming for that direction as well. Of course, I know that there are actually different ships for Saigami. Like I've seen some. I'm not saying shipping wars, but I know that I already had different fan arts and different feedbacks on what kind of ships people would enjoy from Saigami, and that's an interesting thing. But I think in order to keep it interesting, it's all up to the execution. Like things can't just happen for the sake of happening. Like I think a well-written romance has to be reasonable. That might be just my point of view, but I don't believe in love at first sight, not even on a personal level. Um, for me, I think the relationship of two characters and love is something that builds up with time. Because, for me, what you would call love at first sight is more lust, but love is something you grow with time, and I'm aiming for that with my characters. So whenever I'm writing the connection between my characters, I make sure that their relationship, their bonds, it's reasonable, and it builds up. It's not just there for the sake of romance, but it is also there for the character improvement, and it has to be part of their characters. Not in a way like like, for example, in Naruto, Sakura's personality trait was that she was in love with Sasuke, and there was never really a justification for that. She just had a crush on him, and that was it. And she had that crush even when Sasuke was abusing him. And I feel like that's bad writing. Like, that's 50 Shades level of writing. Like, I can't stand behind crap like that, because for me, love builds up from different things. Of course, lust can be involved in relationships. I'm not telling it's not there, but I feel like a good relationship builds on trust, the two characters growing together, and yeah, I'm aiming for a slowly building relationship with my writing that doesn't start with, "Oh, hi there, you look handsome, I have a crush on you, doki doki." So so yeah, I enjoy relationships where it's built on trust, or maybe it's built on trust gained later. Even in stories I enjoy, I like characters that kind of clash and mesh. Not necessarily the Tsundere type of things, because that can be very forced many times. But yeah, that's my point with romance, and that's what I'm aiming for with my writing as well. Without spoiling anything, I hope. But yeah, well, you know, yeah. I don't intend to make shipping wars out of Saigami. And then again, it's never the intention of the creator, I think. Sometimes it is, especially with harems. I never intended to go for shipping wars, but I think love is complicated. It is way more than just love at first sight, or anything at first sight, or feelings at first sight. And I plan to involve that complicated aspect of love and romance into my stories, and I really hope that I will execute that well. You'll see. Sammy, I'm not getting involved in that argument. Yeah, shippings can be hard. Mr. Dude, what irritates me is when the protagonist of a harem anime have to be an overpowered badass. Yeah, that's just weak writing there. Looking at you, A1. Yeah. Lotus Petals, yeah, I agree, thanks for the advice. You're welcome. Lotus Petals, it's all about how you build up the relationship through the story. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. And you know, I feel like the worst that can happen is that when a character is in love just because, and when a relationship or romance is just there for the sake of being there. Like I don't like that type of relationships. But then again, you know, if you take it real life, you will see many messed up romances in real life. That I feel like that's more on the psychological side of things. Like, you know, we could talk about so many things like abusive relationships and attachments based on so many wide variety of feelings. So it is difficult to write good romance, I think. I think many stories can do it very well. Like, there are many stories I really enjoy when it comes to the romance in the story. And there are many stories I enjoy, but I feel like the romance is just bad. Like, hello, Naruto. The romance in Naruto was really bad. All of it. Yeah, and it is kind of getting late here, like it's 1 a.m. So that means we've been at this for over 3 hours now. So I guess we should be I can't even English anymore, so I guess it's a good sign that even though I'm not done with this page yet, I'm gonna take a look at the comments. Kevin Pham, like for me, when I first watched Yu Hakusho, I was surprised to learn how Genkai and Toguro were an item, and backstory is what gave the audience the allure and the idea to care about it. Yeah, that rings a bell. That's an interesting part of the story for sure. Kishimoto gets embarrassed whenever he writes something romantic, Mr. Gerdu writes. Yeah, that's weird, and you know, when you feel that way about romance, then probably you shouldn't write romance. Like, Naruto could have been a really good story even without the romance. Coming from, I just wish that in Yu Hakusho they could have gave us more of a story on how Genkai and Toguro were together. Yeah, like, I can't remember to make a valid comment on that, but yeah, sometimes the romance or the love or the relationship of two characters just thrown in and it doesn't really feel right or in place. Lotus Petals, wow, you're working this late? I always do. Not much sleep for me, or any other manga artist, I think. Zamina, I like the relationship where it just feels so natural and smooth. They start off really good friends and they slowly start to like each other. Yeah, I really like those type of relationships too. And that's the sort of love I believe in, so yeah. Lotus Petals, Ladi dedication, thank you. Mr. Gertrude, Chivalry of the Failed Knight could have been something better. Yeah, I haven't seen the show. I think I've seen some clips of it, but yeah. 79, goodbye then. Yeah, I think this is the right time. I'm still gonna be finishing this page, not in the live stream, because I don't really want to go over 3 hours too much in these videos, and I can kind of feel my throat going sore, so I think I'm gonna take a break and keep drawing. And thank you very much who was here. Don't forget, you can read my manga series Saigami in Saturday AM, the Bible digital manga anthology. You can find all important links in the video description for this video or in my channel. I really appreciate you guys being here and watching this. Yeah, there are some more comments. So Kevin fan, but in Inuyasha we like the triangles between Inuyasha, Kagami and Kikyo, and we care. See the storyline development variation basis, but they don't seem to hate each other. Yeah, Inuyasha is really good, but very, very slow romance. Ink Slicer is back. Yeah, we're kind of ending this, so yeah. Kevin fan, thank you for the conversation and allowing us to see your working. Keep up the good work and have a great day. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me, guys. You can find all links, and I will be back with another stream pretty soon, so I see you guys next time.